Sausage.
Hello everyone, this is Attack the Backlog, the podcast where I, Marc, tries to make a dent in their backlog one game at a time. This episode is all about Minit, M-I-N-I-T, the game where you only have a minute to live before almost everything resets. Minit originally came out on April 3rd, 2018 for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, followed by a Switch release on August 9th of that same year and a mobile release, both Android and iOS, on June 27th, 2019. You know what? Sometimes you just want to play something that's short and sweet, and that's exactly what Minit is. A game where you live 1 minute at a time and can complete in an hour. Of course, it could take you longer if you're going for a 100% run, or significantly shorter if you're speedrunning the game, but if you're tackling it in normal fashion, an hour should be all you need. Because of its short length, beating it in one sitting is the way to go. The 1 minute life cycle means you'll be repeating a lot of actions, playing it like a speedrunner even if that's not your usual playstyle. If you put too much time between playthroughs, it's easy to forget where you were, what you've done, and where you need to go next, and what you need to do when you get there. Speaking of where you're going and what you're doing, Minit is an action-adventure game in the vein of classic top-down Zelda games where, upon picking up a cursed sword, you die every 60 seconds and revive at the last home you visited, whether that be a trailer you found in the woods or a fancy hotel that has no right being where it is. Damn thing even had a pool on the roof. What you end up doing most of the time is searching for shortcuts, cutting shrubbery, occasionally attacking enemies, and chatting with locals for hints and the rare quest, all while Minit's delightful soundtrack plays in the background. While most things reset after every death, like trees chopped down, enemies defeated, and conversations had, there is a persistence as well, because how the hell would you finish it if there wasn't? Any item you find stays in your inventory from that point on, no matter how many times you die. If you complete a quest or a story beat, it remains completed until credits roll. What this all leads to is a lot of trial and error, a lot of exploration, and a lot of figuring out the best route in order to get where you need to go as quickly as possible so you'll have enough time to do what you need to do during that 60-second run. It can be exhausting, it can be frustrating, but ultimately it's rewarding and satisfying because you don't have the time to disengage from the game. It demands your attention. If you get distracted for even a few seconds, that may be enough to turn a successful run into a failed run. I can't stress this enough, but even though you only have 60 seconds per run, you have 60 seconds. It may not sound like a lot of time, but as you play more and more, you'll learn that it's more than enough time to do what needs to be done. If you rush things or don't listen to what characters have to say, it's easy to miss something crucial, and you may find yourself stuck in asking the question, well, how am I supposed to get past this point? Everything you need to know is in the game, and it's all straightforward. You just have to take a minute to realize a minute is more than just a minute. I mean, it's still just a minute, but if Minit, the game, teaches you anything, it's that you can accomplish so much in so little time. That's something you can take out of the game and put use in your everyday life. No matter how meaningless a minute may seem, a minute is more than enough to change one's life. Anyway, with that philosophical ending to this show about video games and me playing them, I am once again Marc. Y'all can find me on Twitter and pretty much everywhere at PXSausage. The site is, of course, PixelatedSausage.com, where you can find this podcast, the Pixelated Sausage Podcast, and Unamazingly Baka, all of which are available on podcast services across the globe. You can also check out the video of this here show over at youtube.com/pixelatedsausage, and it would be greatly appreciated if you liked, subscribed, and all that jazz if you haven't already done so. And I do highly recommend watching this show as opposed to just listening to it. But if listening is all you can do, I will gladly take your ears over nothing. If you'd like to check out the art I make, you can go back to the site pixelatedsausage.com, and if you see something you like, you can purchase a print of the piece you fancy. And if you fancy the site in general and anything that we do, please go over to patreon.com/pxs and support us that way. As always, thank you for watching or listening. I hope you enjoyed this here episode, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.